Preparation prevents poor performance, and prepping for a show before you bump in or before you start a big week of shows is honestly crucial. It may seem really dull and boring, and sometimes it is, but I have learnt this the hard way. It is worth the time and effort you put into preparing because it actually benefits you in the long run. And so today I'm going to be teaching you the things I wish I learned when I was first starting out. So we're going to go through my 7 tips in how to prep for a show, and we're starting right now. What's up you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and I am that props girl, and I'm all about helping non-professional theatre makers, props designers, hobby crafters and decorators create unique props and decor. But today we are not creating unique props and decor, we are doing a deep dive into the lead up and preparation process in the stage of a show before I bump in. I'm not talking about sourcing props or shopping for props or any of that sort of thing, that's all done. I'm talking about the couple of days, sometimes the day before I bump in a show, and all of the last minute prep that I do to make sure that from the get-go on bump in morning, everything just runs smoothly. This is something that isn't often talked about, and I have learnt this the hard way, but after 10 years of doing this, I've actually learned a thing or two, and let me tell you, as I said, this is a step that you do not want to miss. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoy this content, because it lets me know you want to see more content like this, as well as consider hitting the subscribe button and bell so that you stay up to date with all of the content I have for you here on this channel. And with all of that said and done, let's jump straight into the tips. Some of these things are going to sound really basic, and a lot of them actually are, but they're really easy to overlook when you're really busy getting ready to bump in a show and you've got so much going through your mind. Some of these basic things actually fall by the wayside, but they are so important. And so this is going to be a little bit of a reminder for you. Number 1 is washing. Actually doing a load of washing or multiple loads of washing to ensure that you've got enough clean clothes to get you through the next week that you were going to have at the theatre. You may not know when your next opportunity is to wash your clothes, and if you're like me and work backstage, you probably do have a plethora of black clothes to wear, but you've got to make sure that they're all clean and ready to go so that your process in the morning is really easy, that you put on your jeans or your uniform or whatnot and you just get going. There's nothing worse than arriving home late after a show or after a rehearsal and realizing you've got to do a load of washing. It can be really frustrating. So if you've got the ability to have multiple sets of clothes ready, great. Also, if you're a performer, make sure that all of your show undergarments are cleaned. And everyone, make sure you've got enough clean underwear and socks, because you're gonna need them. And all of these things can take time. We all know that a load of washing can take a little bit of time. So it's important to allow adequate time to do all these tasks. The next one, number 2, is meal prep. Now this is something that I learned last year and it was a game changer. Honestly, if you don't plan out your meals and what you're going to eat, you might end up like me and end up eating a lot of fast food. It can add up in costs, and it's also not very nutritious for you, especially if you're eating at all different times of night and day because of the schedule that we all know can be quite hectic. So it's a really good idea to go in and do some meal prep, both with snacks and meals. Even if it's just one meal. I did not prep all of my meals, but I prepped dinner to ensure that before the show started, I would have something to eat. Now, I like to make sure that it's something that's got slow burning carbs, and I've got some fruit and veggies in there. And also I like to have some low in sugar but high in energy foods as well, like these little lollies and some low carb snacks as well. You don't have to be as health conscious as I am, but I'm just letting you know that prepping your meals in advance will save you. And all you have to do is make things that are easy to go in the freezer, and then when you're going in the morning, you just grab them and off you go. I also like to have buckets in my pantry where I just have snacks and I can just grab 1 or 2 of those, grab an apple, grab my frozen meal, and off I go. It really makes the process very streamlined, but as I said, it just guarantees that at least at some point in the day, you're going to have a solid meal. And if you don't have time to have a full meal, you've got the ability to have a snack like a muesli bar or a piece of fruit that will help you at least sustain energy. strategy. Number 3 is unpack before you pack. This is going to sound counterproductive, but let me explain. And this is also mainly talking to props, costumes, and the set department, but it can apply to everyone as well. If you're like me and have done a lot of shopping for the show, so I often have gone to the shops and have bought a whole heap of stuff for set dressing and all these things that I don't need when we're in the rehearsal space, but I will need them once we're in the theater. So a lot of them are just strewn in shopping bags all over the place. The best thing that you can do is actually unpack them ahead of schedule. Even if you know this bag's got set dressing stuff in it, if you unpack it, it allows you to see what you've got. And then I like to sort things into piles as well, into set dressing. This is this character's prop. This is this character's prop. This is something else. This is some materials that I might be needing to use later on. Doing that helps a lot with step 4, which is actually to pack properly. If you've sorted them into piles of like things and unpacked everything, it helps you when you're packing to be able to see things and note where they're going. You can choose to do an inventory if you wish, or you can just take mental notes or even photos of what is in what box. And make sure when you're packing that you label your boxes as well. Packing properly will also help you, because if you are in the middle of a bump in and someone says, we need this, you're more likely to know where it is as well. So if it's not a piece of set dressing, it's probably not going to be in the set dressing box. That's just something from an organized perspective I find really helps. And here is a little bonus tip as well. If you're like me and do theater a lot and you have got multiple shows on every year, invest money in good quality storage tubs, because honestly, getting the cheap ones, they don't last as long, they can't hold as much. Get ones which have got good handles on them, they are robust, and they will be good for stacking as well as putting in the back of a truck. I got these really good ones and I will link them down below, and if you live in Australia you can get them in Bunnings Warehouse. They are absolutely amazing. They come in a range of sizes and they are heavy duty but also at a reasonable price point. So just something to note there, that what you use to pack things in, if you are, as I said, doing this a lot, is very important as well. Number 5, if you have the chance, and I understand we don't always have this time, but if you do have time to write out your run sheet ahead of schedule, I highly advise that you do this. And this goes for performers as well as backstage. If you need a run sheet for where this prop needs to be at what time, or what happens in scene 2, or blah blah, all that sort of stuff, and you can write it out ahead of schedule. Some people don't come onto the production until we bump in, so it's not always possible for them. But those people who are with the show prior, if it's possible for you to write down these things and note them, do it ahead of schedule, because it will help you be on the front foot once tech and dress rehearsals start. If you guys have seen my video on how I do my props table and how I set that up, I like to set my props table up with the props at the start of the show at one end and then go all the way through the show and put the ones that are towards the end of the show at the other end of the table. But if you haven't done your running list and you don't know this, then you won't actually be able to do this properly. That's just something I do. You might not want to be like that, but that's just how I find it helps me wrap my head more around the show. So once we are bumped in and in the theater, it's game time and I know exactly what is going on and when. So if someone says, right, we're jumping to scene 5, I can just look at my notes and go, great, I need this prop, and this prop in scene 5, and it's just really streamlined and so easy to do. Step number 6 is going to seem like a no-brainer, but you will be surprised the amount of people who ask these questions. Know your production schedule. You don't have to know the entire thing, but look, what time are you meant to be at the theater? Set an alarm accordingly. Allow travel time. Know what time you need to be where and when, and make sure you factor in, as I said, travel time around that. Along with that, also, if you're going to a new theater and you don't know what is in the surrounds, look up good places to eat, places to get coffee. If you're having an early bump in at 6 a.m, maybe nowhere around you is open for coffee. So do you need to bring your own? Are you going to make a detour on the way? These are the sorts of things that you need to be thinking about, so it doesn't come to bump in morning and you go, oh my gosh, I don't know where to get coffee, or oh my gosh, the traffic was terrible. You need to be allowing times for this. Not to mention, your stage manager is not going to be happy if you're running late simply because you didn't read the production schedule. So as I said, know your production schedule, and if you haven't had one given to you, ask for one. Clarify with your stage manager or whoever is in charge, what time do we need to be there, and make sure you are there on time, if not early. And number 7 is to check your stocks. Now this really applies to people like me, but also actors as well, who may have a kit or something that they travel with. So for me, this actually requires me going through my show kit and going, do I have enough safety pins? Do I need more bobby pins? Do I have enough band-aids? Have I got enough glue? Do I have all the tapes? If you are an actor, it may be, do I have my show makeup? Do I have enough lashes? Do I have all these things? Doing that sort of stuff ahead of schedule actually helps you, because as much as I would love to have a kit that is fully stocked all the time, at this present point in time, it's not feasible for me to do that. But that's okay, because I allow this time to make sure it's packed properly and it's got everything in it I need. And also another thing to do is the night before you go to bump in, make sure, if you need to, write a list of things that you need to take with you in the morning. That may be pick up your water bottle. That may be pick up the keys to the venue if you're the stage manager or whatnot. Make sure you have your phone charger, grab your food, all the things you might need. Be prepared, write it down, because in the rush and excitement and all these things on the first morning, trust me, you'll just forget something. So if you can't pack it the night before, write down what you need to take and be ready. All of these 7 things can take time to do. I am not denying that, and I am no stranger to understanding this. And for so long, I put it off and didn't do it because I was just like, I don't have time for that, I'll figure it out. Or you know what, oh, it'll be right, I'll do it when I get there. But honestly, it just saves so much time to do it ahead of schedule if you can. And I understand it's not always possible, but if you have the ability to do this ahead of schedule, please trust me on this, do it, because you will thank yourself later. Even just unpacking to pack, or one of these steps like meal prepping, will put you on the front foot as well. I usually set aside a prep day because I know that doing all of these things usually takes me a day, and if I can't do it in a full day, then I'll break it up over a series of days or cram it into whatever time I do have available. And as I said, I'll just do as much as I can. Honestly, as I said at the start, preparation prevents poor performance, and this is so helpful. And I wish I'd have known all these things and listened when other people told me you need to prep for your show. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. Be sure to smash the like button if you did, and leave me a comment with your thoughts down below as well. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and make sure, if you want to follow along with everything that goes on with my life and my shows, be sure to follow me on Instagram and hit that subscribe button and bell so that you can stay updated with all of my uploads, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!